First contact and ultimatum. Dr. Nathan Walsh stared at his monitor in disbelief. The Deep Space Tracking Array at the Hawthorne Observatory had detected something impossible: 23 objects moving in perfect formation, decelerating as they approached the solar system. He'd checked and rechecked the readings 3 times already. "Marcus, you need to see this," he called to his colleague, Dr. Marcus Okonkwo, who was analyzing yesterday's stellar data. Marcus crossed the cramped observation room and leaned over Nathan's shoulder, eyes widening as he took in the readings. "Equipment malfunction." "Already ruled that out," Nathan replied, rubbing his bloodshot eyes. "I've run every diagnostic we have. These signatures are real, artificial, and heading directly for Earth." Within 48 hours, every major space agency had confirmed Walsh's discovery. The objects were real, massive vessels constructed of materials unknown to human science, employing propulsion systems that defied the laws of physics as humanity understood them. The United Nations Security Council convened an emergency session. Secretary General Hana Takemura addressed the assembly, her usual composure noticeably strained. "Distinguished delegates, we face an unprecedented situation. In approximately 12 days, 23 vessels of clearly artificial origin will reach Earth orbit. Our scientists confirm they utilize technology far beyond our current capabilities." General Victor Obasanjo of the United Earth Defense Coalition took the podium next. "We've activated all planetary defense protocols. However, I must emphasize that based on their technology signatures, our military capabilities may prove insufficient against what appears to be a vastly superior force." The world processed the news with surprising resilience. After the initial panic, religious fervor, economic turmoil, and scattered civil unrest, a strange calm settled over humanity. People continued their daily routines with an undercurrent of nervous anticipation. On the 11th day, the alien fleet established orbit around Earth. The largest vessel, a massive structure that appeared to be made of crystalline material that shifted colors in the sunlight, positioned itself above the Indian Ocean. A smaller craft detached and descended toward the United Nations headquarters in Geneva. Billions watched through screens worldwide as the shuttle landed with uncanny precision on the prepared landing zone. The aliens emerged, tall, slender beings with skin that rippled with iridescent patterns. They wore what appeared to be living metal suits that moved with their bodies like liquid. Their faces bore a vague resemblance to humans, but with larger, almond-shaped eyes that glowed with an inner light and no visible nose or mouth. The lead alien stepped forward. When it communicated, its thoughts manifested directly in the minds of those present, bypassing language entirely. "I am Overseer Dravex of the Hegemony Collective. We have come to incorporate your world into our interstellar dominion." Secretary General Takemura stepped forward, flanked by General Obasanjo and Dr. Freya Jorgensen, Earth's leading xenobiologist. "Welcome to Earth. I am Hana Takemura representing humanity. We are honored by your presence and eager to establish peaceful relations." The alien's skin rippled with colors that somehow conveyed amusement. "You misunderstand our purpose. The hegemony has designated your world as Resource Node 3891. Your planet contains valuable minerals and biological specimens. Incorporation is not optional." The human representatives exchanged alarmed glances. General Obasanjo stepped forward. "Perhaps we should clarify what you mean by incorporation." Another alien, introduced as Subcommander Zexel, produced a holographic display. "Standard hegemony protocol. Indigenous sapient species are relocated to designated conservation zones comprising 12% of planetary surface. Remaining territories become hegemony extraction regions." Dr. Jorgensen couldn't hide her shock. "You're proposing to confine 8 billion people to reservations while you strip mine our planet." "Your species will be preserved," Dravex stated, as if offering a generous concession. "Many primitive civilizations have thrived under hegemony management." Takemura's diplomatic training kept her voice steady. "We need time to consult with our governments. This is a significant proposal." "You have 96 Earth hours," Dravex declared. "Then incorporation begins." The aliens departed, leaving humanity to face an impossible choice. In a secured facility beneath the Austrian Alps, Earth's leaders gathered. The debate was fierce but brief. When the vote came, it was unanimous. Takemura and General Obasanjo returned to meet the aliens. This time they brought Professor Julian Reeves, director of the classified Phoenix Initiative, and Commander Olivia Zhang of Earth Space Defense Forces. Dravex seemed surprised by their quick return. "You have reached consensus." General Obasanjo spoke with quiet authority. "We have. Earth respectfully declines your offer of incorporation." The alien skin shifted to a deep crimson. "You cannot decline. The hegemony has claimed your world." "Then we have a problem," Commander Zhang stated, "because Earth is not available for claiming." Dravex's mental voice carried genuine confusion. "No primitive world has ever refused incorporation. You lack interstellar capability. Resistance is illogical and futile." Professor Reeves stepped forward. "Perhaps we're not as primitive as you assume." The overseer's large eyes narrowed. "This defiance will have consequences. The hegemony fleet will enforce compliance." As the aliens departed, General Obasanjo turned to his companions. "Well, we've thrown down the gauntlet." Commander Zhang smiled grimly. "Time to show them what humans are made of." The hegemony response was swift. Their ships formed a blockade around Earth, severing all satellite communications. Energy shields prevented any craft from leaving the atmosphere. In underground command centers worldwide, humanity's true defensive preparations began. Professor Reeves activated secure communications. "All Phoenix sites, this is control. Authorization code, Lazarus Rising, begin activation sequence." Across the globe, hidden facilities hummed to life. For decades, Earth's governments had secretly collaborated on planetary defense systems, using reverse-engineered technology from unexplained phenomena and theoretical physics breakthroughs that had been carefully kept from public knowledge. Commander Fatima Hassan supervised one such facility beneath the Sahara Desert. Her team had trained for years, never knowing if they would be needed. "Ma'am, Phoenix systems are online," reported Lieutenant Thomas Reed. "Quantum displacement generators at full capacity." "Any response from the other sites?" Hassan asked. "All 14 stations report ready status. The network is synchronized." Meanwhile, the hegemony began demonstrating their power. They destroyed several obsolete satellites, broadcasting the footage worldwide. "Your leaders hide the truth," Dravex announced. "Submit to incorporation or face the consequences of defiance." Some nations wavered, but across the globe, resistance movements sprung up. In Delhi, Nairobi, Rio de Janeiro, and dozens of other cities, people took to the streets, not in panic but in unified defiance. Dr. Walsh, who had first spotted the alien fleet, now worked with a team analyzing hegemony technology. "Their ships use a form of gravitational manipulation," he explained to General Obasanjo. "Incredibly advanced but with specific limitations. They can't maintain their shields while using weapon systems." "How can you be sure?" Obasanjo asked. Walsh smiled. "Because that's exactly the limitation our Phoenix system was designed to exploit." As the 96-hour deadline approached, Dravex grew impatient. The hegemony had incorporated hundreds of worlds, but never faced such unified resistance from a pre-interstellar civilization. In his command ship, Dravex conferred with his officers. "Their defiance is abnormal. No species at this technological level should possess such coordination." Zexel suggested, "Perhaps they have received outside assistance." "Impossible," Dravex replied. "We would have detected any advanced technology transfers." What the hegemony didn't understand was humanity's greatest strength, not technology but adaptability and determination. Every challenge in human history had made them stronger. Every conflict had taught them to work together when faced with extinction. As the deadline arrived, Overseer Dravex sent his final message: "People of Earth, your time has expired. Incorporation begins now." Across the planet, humans looked to the sky. In hidden bunkers, fingers hovered over activation switches. Humanity had made its choice. Now came the moment of truth, whether Earth could back up its defiance with action. The real battle for Earth's freedom was about to begin. The resistance and rise of Earth. The first hegemony landing craft descended toward Earth's surface, targeting major population centers. Their confidence was absolute. No primitive world had ever successfully resisted incorporation. In the Phoenix Command Center, Professor Reeves watched the tactical display with tense focus. "All stations prepare for synchronized activation on my mark." The landing craft reached the stratosphere. Reeves' hand moved to the activation switch. "Now." Across Earth, 14 hidden facilities unleashed power that shouldn't have existed on a pre-interstellar world. Beams of coherent energy, guided by quantum entanglement, converged on the hegemony vessels. The alien shields flickered and failed. Landing craft tumbled from the sky, their crews frantically trying to regain control. None reached the surface intact. Aboard the hegemony flagship, Dravex stared at his displays in disbelief. Impossible. They're using quantum displacement weapons. How did they develop this technology? Zexil analyzed the readings. Overseer, these energy signatures match theoretical models from the ancient conflict, but those weapons were lost millennia ago. The revelation struck Dravex like a physical blow. The Forerunner artifacts, they're on this world. Earth's defenders didn't give the hegemony time to process this information. Commander Zhang, coordinating from a hardened bunker beneath the Andes Mountains, initiated the next phase. All orbital defense platforms engage at will. Show them that primitive doesn't mean helpless. Hidden satellites, disguised as space debris for decades, revealed their true nature. Weapons platforms built using principles that Earth scientists had painstakingly derived from mysterious archaeological finds opened fire on the hegemony fleet. Commander Hassan watched her sector of the battle from her underground facility in the Sahara. Lieutenant, the hegemony ships are adapting to our weapons frequency. Then let's give them something new to adapt to, Hassan replied. Activate the secondary resonance pattern. The nature of human engineering was adaptability. Where the hegemony relied on proven superiority, humans had built flexibility into every system. The weapon frequencies shifted, catching the aliens off guard once more. Dravex's command ship shuddered under the barrage. His fleet, designed to intimidate primitive worlds into submission, found itself in an actual battle. Return fire, he commanded, target their ground installations. But Earth's defenders had learned from observing the hegemony's demonstration attacks. Mobile command centers constantly relocated, while hardened bunkers absorbed energy blasts that would have leveled cities. Dr. Walsh worked with an international team of scientists analyzing hegemony communications in real time. They're confused, he reported to General Obasanjo. They keep mentioning something called the Forerunner Legacy. What does that mean? Dr. Jorgensen, the xenobiologist, joined the conversation. I've been studying the artifacts that inspired our defense systems. Carbon dating puts them at over 75,000 years old, far predating human civilization. The pieces began falling into place. Earth wasn't just another primitive world. It was a repository of ancient technology that humanity had unknowingly built upon. In orbit, the battle intensified. Hegemony warships, recovering from their initial shock, brought their superior numbers to bear. For every ship disabled by Earth's defenses, 2 more pressed the attack. Commander Zhang recognized the shifting momentum. All stations, prepare for Protocol Omega. Protocol Omega was Earth's last resort, a full activation of every Phoenix node simultaneously. No one knew exactly what would happen. General, Hassan called over the command channel. We're not sure the planet can handle that much energy discharge. Better to risk uncertainty than face certain conquest, Obasanjo replied. As Earth's defenders prepared for their final gambit, something unexpected happened. The ancient artifacts began activating on their own. Professor Reeves stared at his console in amazement. I'm reading activation signals from sites we didn't even know existed. There are hundreds of them, all coming online. Buried beneath millennia of rock and soil, beneath ocean floors and polar ice, ancient devices stirred to life. They recognized the quantum signatures of the weapons being used and responded accordingly. On the hegemony flagship, alarms screamed. Dravex watched in horror as energy readings spiked beyond anything in recorded history. Overseer Zexil reported, voice shaking, these readings match the legends of the Forerunner defense grid, but that's impossible. The Forerunners vanished eons ago. Dravex's mind raced. The Forerunners, the elder race that had seeded intelligence throughout the galaxy before disappearing. Their technology was the foundation upon which the hegemony had built its empire. We've made a terrible mistake, Dravex realized. This world, it's not a primitive outpost, it's a Forerunner sanctuary. The realization came too late. Earth's ancient defenses, awakened by humanity's desperate stand, formed a network of unimaginable power. Energy shields enveloped the planet far stronger than anything the hegemony could generate. More dramatically, the system began to affect space itself around Earth. Gravitational waves pulsed outward, disrupting the hegemony fleet's ability to maintain orbit. Commander Zhang watched in awe as their desperate defense transformed into something far greater. All Earth forces ceasefire. Let's see what our ancient benefactors have in store. The Forerunner system spoke, not in words, but in pure understanding that touched every conscious mind in the solar system. The message was simple yet profound. This world is protected, its children have proven worthy. Dravex felt the weight of galactic law upon him. The hegemony had violated one of the oldest taboos, attempting to claim a Forerunner sanctuary world. The punishment was severe. Overseer Zexel whispered, "We must retreat before." It was already too late. The Forerunner defense system enveloped the hegemony fleet in fields of coruscating energy, not to destroy but to judge. Hegemony vessels, the consciousness communicated, you have violated ancient covenant. Your aggression awakens that which was meant to sleep until ready. Throughout the galaxy, on every world claimed by the hegemony, similar ancient systems awakened. The entire foundation of their empire, technology reverse-engineered from Forerunner artifacts, suddenly responded to the call from Earth. In the Phoenix Command Center, screens displayed impossible data, signals from thousands of worlds across the galaxy. "What's happening?" General Obasanjo asked. Dr. Jorgensen's eyes widened as she interpreted the data. "It's incredible. Earth isn't just a repository, it's a control node. The Forerunners left systems on countless worlds, all connected to this one." 6 months later, the galaxy had transformed. The Hegemony Collective, stripped of their stolen technology, retreated to their homeworld. Dozens of formerly subjugated species gained their freedom, many establishing diplomatic relations with Earth. In Geneva, a new galactic council convened. Representatives from 27 species gathered to establish a new interstellar order, one based on cooperation rather than conquest. Secretary-General Takemura addressed the assembled delegates. "For too long, the galaxy suffered under the hegemony's rule. Today, we establish the Foundation, a coalition dedicated to preserving the freedom of all sentient beings." Dravex, now serving as the humbled representative of his people, spoke next. "The hegemony acknowledges its transgressions. We seek to make amends and rejoin galactic society as equals, not conquerors." Dr. Nathan Walsh, the astronomer who had first spotted the hegemony fleet, now served as Earth's chief xenotechnologist. Working with scientists from a dozen worlds, he helped integrate Forerunner technology with human innovation. "The Forerunners didn't just leave us weapons," he explained to a class of international students. "They left us a blueprint for a better future, one where technology serves life, not dominates it." Commander Zhang, now Admiral Zhang of Earth's first interstellar vessel, the Phoenix, prepared for her maiden voyage. The ship incorporated both Forerunner principles and human ingenuity, a perfect symbol of Earth's new role. "We're not conquerors," she told her crew during their final briefing. "We're explorers and peacekeepers. The Foundation looks to us not because we defeated the hegemony, but because we chose to spare them when we could have destroyed them." Beneath the Sahara, Commander Hassan and Professor Reeves continued studying the central Forerunner repository. The ancient technology had yielded only a fraction of its secrets. "It's fascinating," Hassan remarked. "The Forerunners could have built an eternal empire, but instead they chose to guide younger races toward self-determination." Reeves nodded, "And now that responsibility falls to us. The Terran Alliance isn't just Earth anymore, it's a vision for the galaxy." General Obasanjo, now serving as Earth's representative to the Foundation's Security Council, stood at the observation dome of the new space station orbiting Earth. Representatives from a dozen worlds stood with him, watching as the Phoenix prepared for its journey to the stars. "A year ago, we were alone and thought ourselves at the apex of evolution," he mused. "Now we know we're just one chapter in a much longer story." Ambassador Zexel, formerly subcommander, now representing the reformed hegemony, stood beside him. "Perhaps that is the greatest lesson we all learned. No civilization is the end of history, merely a bridge to what comes next." As the Phoenix engaged its Forerunner-inspired drive, opening a pathway to distant stars, humanity stepped into its new role not as conquerors or subjects, but as guardians of a legacy far greater than themselves. The galaxy would never be the same again. The age of empire had ended. The era of the Foundation had begun.